You hear about AI everywhere, right? But so much of the talk is just, well, it's just hype. Today, we're going to cut right through all that noise. We're breaking down a real strategic playbook for AI automation, moving from big, fuzzy ideas to the practical stuff that can actually make a huge impact on your business. Okay, let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about the size of the prize here. We're looking at a potential $4.4 trillion annual productivity gain from AI. Just let that number sink in. This isn't just a small step up, it's a massive tectonic shift in how businesses can create value. It's what every single organization is chasing.
But here's the reality check. For all that incredible potential, only about 1% of companies are actually succeeding with AI at scale. So what is going on in that massive gap between $4.4 trillion and 1%? That's the challenge, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. To even begin to bridge that gap, you've got to understand what makes this new wave of automation so fundamentally different. It's not just about doing the same old things, only faster.
And this is the key. We're shifting from a world of rigid, rule-based automation to something that can actually handle complexity and even uncertainty. It's a huge leap from just replacing repetitive tasks to completely transforming what your business is even capable of doing.
So let's get really clear on this. What do we actually mean by AI-driven automation? Because believe me, it's a world away from the simple bots you might be thinking of. Here's how we're defining it, and you got to pay attention to those keywords: execute, optimize, and, this is the big one, evolve. You see, unlike older tech, AI systems are actually designed to learn and get better over time. They can tackle stuff that used to be way too dynamic or complex for any machine to handle. Now, this slide really nails the difference. Think of the old way, rule-based automation, like a train on a track. Yeah, it's super efficient, but it can only go where the track's already been laid. If anything changes, even slightly, it completely derails. AI automation, on the other hand, is more like an all-terrain vehicle. It's adaptive, it can handle messy, unstructured data, and it literally learns the landscape as it goes. It's not brittle, it's resilient. Okay, so we know what it is. The next and maybe most important question is, where do you point this thing? Where are you going to get the biggest and fastest return on your investment? Well, the data is pretty clear on this one. It consistently points to three key areas: operations, finance, and customer service. These are the front lines where AI automation is delivering the absolute biggest wins right now. So if you're looking for where to start, this is basically your treasure map. And check this out. This shows you what that looks like in the real world. We're not talking about small, incremental gains here. I mean, in finance, real-time AI fraud detection is becoming the standard. In customer service, AI is handling the vast majority of initial chats. These are absolute game changers, and they free up your human teams to do the more strategic, high-value work.
Now, all this sounds fantastic, but the number one roadblock is often just, where do I even start? So let's get into the playbook and lay out a clear, actionable plan. This 5-step framework really takes the mystery out of it. It all starts with an honest look at where you are right now: your data, your tech, your team skills. And from there, you don't try to boil the ocean. You pick one high-impact pilot project, you prove the value, and then, and only then, do you start to roll it out more broadly. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And believe me, having a roadmap like this is absolutely non-negotiable. Without it, you're basically just wandering in the dark. So many companies get stuck in what they call pilot purgatory, running endless experiments that never go anywhere. This playbook is your guide out of that maze. It's what separates the companies that just experiment from the ones that actually transform. Okay, but let's talk about the other side of the coin. With all this incredible power, you've got to have some guardrails. A smart AI strategy isn't just about the cool tech. It's about managing the risks that come along with it. And these risks are very real, but they are manageable. We're talking about things like model drift. That's when your AI's performance starts to degrade over time. Then you've got the huge ethical risk of bias creeping into your data. Of course, there's the organizational challenge of helping your workforce adapt. And finally, some really critical security risks. The key for all of these is to be proactive. Build your governance and your mitigation plans in from day one, not as an afterthought. So where is all of this headed? Is the end goal a business that just runs itself, with no people involved? Well, all the evidence points to a future that's actually way more interesting and powerful than that. The truth is, pure automation has a ceiling. AI is incredible at crunching data and spotting patterns, but a huge chunk of the most important business decisions rely on stuff like context, nuance, and empathy, uniquely human things.
And this is where it all comes together. Research shows that teams that combine human experts with AI tools don't just do a little better. They consistently blow away either humans or AI working alone. We're talking about a performance boost of almost 40%. This isn't about replacement. It's all about collaboration. So if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. The most powerful use of AI isn't to build a business that runs without people. It's to build a business where people, empowered by AI, can achieve things that were never possible before. The real goal isn't just automation, it's augmentation. The technology is here. The playbook is clear. The only question left is, what are you going to do with it? With a potential $4.4 trillion in value up for grabs, the choice to lead, to follow, or to get left behind has never, ever been more critical.